Hello, super amazing human beings. Welcome. I have some things to say quickly, so let's just jump right into it. Right. Nobody is empowered. It seems the vast majority of people are depressed. A lot of them don't even know it. A lot of people have given up without even trying. I see. Quite common. Something's very wrong with our society. Nobody's empowered, like I say. This world is fundamentally spiritual and magic. I can say that without a fucking doubt in my mind. And I don't believe in believing. Look, there's powerful shit out there, mate. And, shit can shift for people, very fast. There's an infinite different side to that coin around the corner all the time, and I wish something seems to happen to people. They just get stuck in some tiny fucking corner of reality. They can only see down this like narrow stream, and there are ways to break out of that a little bit that I'm trying to share, but we've all become cogs in a machine, and we've all accepted it because we're asleep. And look, it's hard to why am I making this video, right? So I think the reason why this has come to fruition a little bit is just because I quit weed, and it just I've done this before, but whenever I do it, something seems to shift, and I'm gonna do a deep experiment and in-depth videos and things in the future about weed. But I was just thinking, like, why the fuck is everyone suffering so? And I understand everyone's okay for the most part, and you know, we are in the first world and it's not that bad, but look, man, we're all fucking victims to a dead system, a dead society. It's fucking plain out there, man. The mass awakening is taking place now. It's very clear. There's a fucking huge I've been watching it now for a long time, probably a good 5 years something. Yeah, it's been a long time, since like secondary school. And it's very clear there's a narrative arising, this building, and all the information's out there, and a lot of it is to do with the internet. We've killed the world, mate. It's run by greed. Greed, numbers, it's bizarre. I've worked in very many bottom end wage slave jobs, and it's very obvious, mate, especially this one that not especially this one. Right, for example, I was a bin man. Look, people can do what they want, but I think there's something wrong when it's like basically set in stone that everyone I meet at this job breaks out a Red Bull and a cigarette immediately, like every day. And I don't want to judge people by that, but I think there's something wrong when the vast majority of people are ingesting poison every fucking day, mate. Look, and what I was saying about depression, I'm starting to realize around me that everyone around me is depressed, but they don't even know they're depressed because it's like some fucking gay label it's been turned into of some fucking. This world is like, the vast majority of society is an illusion as well. These corporations, big fucking illusions they're creating all the time. All these fucking, can I go into the details? You see it with a lot of corporations celebrating this, celebrating that, supporting this, supporting that, all these smiling faces, mate. But when you actually get into what the reality of the corporation is, it's not the fucking smiling posters they show you. Mate, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Yeah, this is irrelevant, but yeah, it seemed my mind has just gone like, as if I've had some like, it feels like I've had some like psychedelic awakening thing, except I'm just sober. Look, mate, what I'm trying to do on this channel, right, I've got many updates. One of the updates is I might be fucking off for a little bit on YouTube, in terms like, because I'm always working through endless psychological baggage, right? And sometimes it just picks up the pace, and like, I don't feel like I can fucking keep up, like, because it's difficult. And my life is a bit in shambles as well, but this is why I'm saying this a lot, is because suffering is a great teacher, and I've learned so much. But look, people, as I say, that people get stuck in this narrow stream of reality, right? You know, nobody ever told you what reality is or what the limit is at all. Do you understand your fundamentally consciousness, right? Which is literally the fundamental. If anything exists, consciousness is first. What's the limit of consciousness if it's the fundamental? Fuck knows. Nobody ever told you. You people just bring you into this world and start feeding you poison like it's and no one even fucking tells you that you're alive or even talks about life at all. Life is fundamentally magic. And what are the practical implications of saying that life is magic? It's difficult because people adopt a very rigid materialistic paradigm, which is okay. It's good to believe in the physical world. However, it's not a fucking philosophy, but that's what we've turned it into. Do people realize there's no value in fucking anything that we own? Barely. Like, there's nowhere to fucking go ever. Our whole culture, everything that we've been sold is just a fucking lie. And all I see is really the majority of people, there's a fucking disconnect from the soul and source. This is what the shamans and shit say. When asked about the West, the problem is fundamentally the disconnection from source or soul. And another big thing is a disconnection from your machine, a disconnection from understanding how your machine works and what makes you tick. And I'll leave a link to a very fundamental video in the description. I won't mention what it is right now, but look, there's many examples, and I've been connecting the dots a lot, and this is a lot of what I'll try to do on this channel a bit as well, is I want to connect the dots in terms of this person said this person also said this, and then my experience, and then whatever, and then with this we can make the mass awakening more solid. And what is the mass awakening? It's a rejection of what we've been fucking sold, mate. Our culture is selling us safety over fucking in terms of like, mate, fuck the lockdown, fuck the government. And I'm not a dickhead saying that. Like, I'm not just going, you know, fuck the government because it's cool and edgy, mate. I've thought about this deeply. I've swung the pendulum from this side to that side, and now it's quite fucking clear to me we're being taken the piss out of to the extreme. We're not free, mate. We're free until we piss the government off. Until, this is another thing. I was reading these posters, I won't go into the nature of where and when. All voices matter. We're supporting, you know, all voices matter. Everyone speak up, all smiling, everyone. You know, more of this corporate promotion. But no one has a fucking, everyone has a voice, yeah, until you step out of line. It's not right the way we're living. And it's fine. Look, I'm not like killing myself over this stuff that I've been realizing, but it's not right. I don't really understand. Like, there's many, like, it's very clear to me. I look at society in many different areas, and over here, over there. What's happened? It's not magic at all anymore. This is what I've been thinking. I need to bring some fucking slogan, some phrase of bring the magic back. And what's the magic? There is a lot of magic, mate. Trust me. And I know I'm a psychedelic guy, right? But it's not about the psychedelics. It's about awe and beauty and love. I love you. Talking to you now, and I'll say that absolutely unmediated, because I do not give a fuck. I do not give a fuck, and I'm so tired of playing this ego game. What are we defending? When you defend your ego, when you defend your, what are you defending? Why? The system is designed to make you a cog in a machine. And, oh yeah, so here's what I've been realizing recently, essentially, right. Life is essentially a fucking escalator, right? But you go in the wrong way. So the escalator's going down, you're trying to go up, right? If you remain still, you go down. You have to hustle in order to even barely remain afloat. basically, when it comes to self-sabotage, which most people do very unconsciously, and just a side note, you realise that you're at the beginning of your life. A lot of people, and if you're not at the beginning of your life, well, you basically are, because just become present. Ta-da! You're at the beginning again. You realise that you're like, this is it out in front of you, infinite choices. What the fuck are you going to do? Not that it, I guess, particularly matters, but you know what's very important to me now is the empowering of all these people with compassion at the core of everything. Nature is nature to be the engine. Nature is the key. Nature has the answers to all of our problems. But we've decided to think nature's just something on the side. The mastery of the body and the mind and understanding. Why do we not understand this? None of us even know fuck all about it. And then we try and patch the diseases after they happen. Mate, most of our food is poison as well. Did you know that? Did you know that? Most modern food is fucking poisonous. And do you know, you are what you eat. No one connects these dots. And look, I'm not hating on my parents, yeah, or anybody, right? It's not about that. It's more of people being so uneducated that there's like a mass psychosis where we just feed down the I don't understand why I've been growing up, yeah, going to the fridge and there's fucking dip dabs in the fridge, which is a fucking sherbet lolly of just pure cancer. Here's a can of Coke. Next day, here's another can of Coke. Here's a pot noodle. Who the fuck is feeding me this? Who the fuck is making it? It's poison. I don't want it. Heavy metals, mate, building up in my system, turning my shit off. Drinking tap water, turning my shit off. The shit that I need in order to be conscious. I'm angry, really. And I don't know where this came from. And I think it's something to do with the weed. And when it comes to weed, I won't go into that. I say I'll go into depth about drugs and stuff in the future. And that's another thing as well. The fact that nature is illegal. We're not free. Mate, there's mushrooms that grow across the whole landscape of the world, basically everywhere. As soon as you pick the mushroom from the ground, that's a felony. There's a book called 3 Felonies a Day, which is, I don't know, I've only ever heard it being referenced to, I've never read it. But it discusses about how everyone's committing crimes left, right and centre because that's what happens when you try to just enforce shit with this complex bullshit that's on paper. That's another thing. On paper, everything. I don't like the way. I reject the whole way it is. Fuck it. And why do I feel this way? It's because I'm sick of seeing people so disempowered around me. I've discovered ways of healing, of real time. I'm not no ideological spiritualist. I'm a realist, I guess. If that's, I don't know what that term means exactly, but I won't just adopt fucking beliefs, mate. I will, and I never give myself enough credit for this, but I've been realizing recently how I really do not just take things on, and this is spirituality is essentially the rejection of all beliefs, and that's where it begins. This is, was that Friedrich Nietzsche? I don't know, I'm not good with the names of philosophers, but I think that's how a good philosopher started. I don't know, I won't fucking talk about that. But look, we're poor as fuck, because the system is intentionally designed that way, for the most part. No one knows where the fucking president is, no one knows where any of these fucking people are. There's a new world order happening right now. You will own nothing and you will be happy. It's not a fucking conspiracy, mate. They're putting poison in our food. Whether it's intentional or not, I don't know, but it seems to be fueled by greed, a material greed. There's other places that just don't do this shit at all. They live happily with You know when you're driving, you're inhaling poison the whole time, which is directly affecting your consciousness, the way that you can perceive and there's plastic in your blood. And look, you ain't got to worry about these things if you don't, but you got to understand the way that you're perceiving what I'm telling you is being mediated through the very thing that I'm trying to tell you about. Here's some important things. Meditation, essential. Breathwork, essential. Breathwork, research these, please, for fuck's sake, for your own good, and for the mass awakening to save the world. And I want to save the people I love, because it's just hit me in the face all of a sudden that nobody's happy. And you don't have to be happy all the time, of course, but when the happiness is just basically like, people have just given up before they've even been told there's an opportunity to try. You know that everyone is living at 1% of their full potential. Do you know what the full potential of a human being is? Has anyone ever explored that concept with you? You know, nobody actually tries anything. When I'm in my whatever job, my one of various bottom end jobs, I look at the landscape of humans and I say, this goes back to the treadmill, to the escalator metaphor. Nobody's trying anything at all. Why? It's because we want a quick fix. We want to control a small portion of reality to avoid taking control of the whole reality, in a sense. You know that it seems that you can manifest any reality you want, any life you want. In a metaphysical sense, as in you literally create your life in real time. Depression, completely self-created, not real. I understand. Don't think I'm being ignorant, mate. I understand depression. I understand. Please. And to be honest, maybe I'm still in that because it's a difficult battle. I understand. But a lot of it is a symptom of our evil society. Well, evil. It's hard to use that word. Research the Archaic Revival by Terence McKenna. This is Terence McKenna is a good quote by Terence McKenna is he said, the reason psychedelics are illegal, again, natural substances that are found within your machine, again, I forget what the term is called, but we produce DMT in various different ways, and so does, I believe, nearly every mammal. Go and fact check that, I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, another thing, should we get to the vaccine? Right, YouTube, don't censor, and the fact that I even have to say anything about YouTube censoring me is mad. I do not want the vaccine. And I won't have it. You know why? Because maybe my paradigm doesn't particularly agree with your paradigm, or who gives a fuck? It's my body. But you know what happened to me when I didn't get the jab? I'm killing people I don't know, apparently. And various other... Mate, I wouldn't engage in these conversations no more, like just these debates and that, but it's oh yeah, what was Andrew Tate say? Andrew Tate's a good example of the mass awakening to an extent. Not really, I mean, but I'm happy that these people are coming to fruition, in a sense, because people are understanding, especially with the rise of gurus. And when it comes to me potentially being a guru or something in the future, look, mate, I honestly do not give a fuck. I don't really have anything to sell you. I don't really give a fuck about money. And I just hope that you can trust that. But right, I'm going off a bit and I'm springing away. So what can I say? What can I say? Right, stay with me. Do you understand? Right, so we've got the escalator thing. Right, excuse my spelling. This is my spelling. Escalate. Also, I've been doing the live streams, yeah? I done a 5-hour live stream the other day. I don't even know if I said anything, because I've been smoking a grade every day, and I won't get into that. necessary. Right, we got the escalator analogy. What was I saying about the other thing? Quick. Fuck's sake, sorry. I always forget about what I'm talking about. 1 second. I remember what I was saying now, I'm sorry. Right, so, yeah, so what Andrew Tate was saying, is like, yeah, in terms of respecting the police or whatever, it's like, yeah, but as soon as they enforce something bullshit as, and I'm not really scared to say, and YouTube, mate, if you take me down, it just basically validates my point, and you can't take me down ultimately because I'm everywhere, and I've made sure to make my presence solid across everything. And look, I'm not even going against the rules, mate. It's my opinions. Corona is a load of shit. The way it's been sold to us is a load of shit, mate, it's a load of bollocks. And the whole way the world is being sold to us is a load of bollocks. It's an illusion, mate. Because when you actually get to the real, look, there's millions of people living in hell. Right, so yeah, it's like, the authorities, yeah, the police that you respect or whatever, all of a sudden, as soon as some guy says, oh, you can't go out anymore, the whole fucking authority will just turn on you and enforce that you can't leave your house anymore. Look, it's all a bit mad, isn't it? Right. I don't know if I want to say anymore, I've just ranted some shit, but in terms of the escalator analogy, what I've basically figured out is, well, you have to obviously do something. I've been self-sabotaging very deeply for a long time, and it's been paining me to my core, and this goes back to the empowerment, but it's essentially, look, you have to hustle. If you remain still, you ain't gonna fucking get anywhere. Remaining still entails, right, you also don't have to, you can't be a victim, okay? Taking responsibility is one of the deepest things I've learned in my personal development journey, and this is what this whole thing is on my channel, is personal development in a sense, and that's really the only thing I'm advocating, kind of, but the bigger picture. Look, if you remain still, the default is shit job, wage slavery, and if you really remain still, your posture's gonna fuck up if you keep sitting in these fucking chairs on your computer, whatever the fuck. If you keep eating shit stuff, you know, it's not good, mate. I don't know. Yeah, whatever, that's it. I didn't even really know what I was gonna say when I started speaking, but it's just like it just came to me randomly, like it literally just hit me as if I took psychedelics, like that's how it felt. But look, people who get it, that's it. I don't want to talk anymore, I guess. I think I've said what I need to say. There's going to be a huge shift constant, and it's hard to tell you what the shift is going to be yet, because it's happening in real time all the time, especially recently. It's like, I can't, like, I don't know what to make in a sense, because it quickly gets knocked down with some new awakening, like, I don't know, it's hard. I'm going to leave you with a video. Please watch this at the end here. This is a good video. I love it. Probably one of the best videos on the whole fucking internet. Alright, thank you. I love you, people. Follow my shit on social media down below, because who knows, maybe YouTube will fucking take me down because I don't want the vaccine. It ain't right. I don't know what's happening. It's a strange world, but it isn't right. But it starts with changing yourself. Be the change you want to see in others. Don't be a victim. Take responsibility for your life. It's nobody else's fault where you are. You've created your life. Your whole life. The only reason you're sat where you are right now, broke as fuck, is because of you. You've done this. You've spent your money. You ain't saved. You ate the shit your parents fed you. Ultimately, sure. I understand to an extent it's not your fault, and it is society's fault and whatever. But that doesn't serve you particularly, does it? To blame society and then just sit there fucking crying about it. If you take responsibility, it means then you can change. And real quick, if you're in a rut, right, first of all, be open-minded. That's irrelevant. What I was going to say is this is how I started to slowly dig myself out of this deep hole. And trust me, it's a deep hole. Is 1, become present. You can become present by deeply focusing on your inner body awareness, or, you know, your qualia, your senses, vision. That's presence. And within that is very profound states, trust me. Presence can be reached through breath work, through just literal being in the present. You can do that. And then with becoming present, you leave the past in the past. And the present moment does seem to dissolve many things, which is very powerful. I used to say this a lot. When I used to be more awake, I would say. I don't know what's happening right now, but something does seem to be happening in terms of being awake or being asleep. And prepare for tomorrow. If you're struggling, prepare for tomorrow. That's all you got to do. And then once you've prepared as much as you can for tomorrow, prepare for the day after that, and see how much you can expand this. And I guess I'm talking irrelevant now, but if you're feeling in a rut, be open-minded, man. And when I'm preaching stuff to you, understand this advice. I'm not trying to convert you to a religion. I don't give a fuck. I don't even really know if anyone exists or not. Like, I don't know. And I understand there's no meaning, or, I mean, I guess I'm technically creating a meaning through trying to show people, but look. What I'm trying to show you is the infinite potential within every single one of us. And people hear this stuff, man, and there's life-changing stuff. Did you know that personal development is a field that you can pursue? Did you know you can pursue life itself? Did you know you can start again right now? Did you know you can meditate? Did you know maybe you think meditation isn't your thing? Did you know you could try it anyway? Did you know that what you think meditation could potentially be is not what meditation actually is? Did you know that even master meditators don't know what meditation is? Did you know that you actually do not know essentially anything, and neither do I? And there is a deep unknowing that permeates through all of consciousness and reality. And this deep unknowing brings compassion and love. It should do. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. And that leads into this video I was discussing, so watch this video. Thank you very much. If you understand, you understand. There's going to be a huge evolution, and in terms of my previous stuff, it's difficult to talk about my previous content, to be honest. Like I say, the evolution is very rapid, and I'm not just saying that. It's like, maybe it's because of my age, because I'm 18, 17, but it's likely also because of the psychedelics and the teachings I'm listening to. And look, trust me, it's real. I don't know, if you think I chat bollocks, this is the thing, right? A lot of my friends say I'm crazy. Everyone knows I'm crazy, right? Clearly, by what I state. But I'm not wrong. And people say this a lot. I had one friend saying, you know, one friend said to me the other day, what did I tell him? Yeah, my friend told me, the reason I'm addicted to coke is because of, like someone's name, right? So, I'm addicted to coke because of Marshall. And then he said another example, it's because of my parents. And then I was like, no, it isn't, it's because of you. Of course, I wasn't trying to be like smart or one-up him or anything, but that made him think, and he went, you know, everyone thinks you're mad, but you talk more sense than most people. And trust me, I'm not tooting my own horn or whatever, but mate, nobody thinks. Most people are very asleep, and I don't want it. I'm not having an egoic drive here. And sometimes it can seem like that when you get deep into spirituality, but it's very clear that the vast majority of people are very unthinking, and that is because, like I say, they've hooked onto this stream of reality, very finite stream, fragmented part of reality, and they haven't had an activation. And you can have an activation through breath work, psychedelics, meditation, like a physical energy activation, something I experienced very recently, which I was talking about on my Instagram, which changed the whole name of the game in every, like, I discovered that 50% of health is through the breath. And I discovered this and became directly conscious of this. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this. I was stressing for months, running around in society as most people do. I led down because, look, sometimes when I'm driving to work and that in the morning, I try to tune into peace. There's a flow of peace that you can tune into. I don't know if this is something you have to, like, build, like a skill in a sense, over time, but there is a peace flow that you can attune. Most of the time you're just going with it, right? Going with it, keep going, carry on. But there's a peace you can tune into. And I was aware of this. I'm aware that most of the time I'm just running around. So this other day, I led down. I was on psychedelics, and maybe I won't go super deep into it. But trust me, it's real, because I felt this when I'm sober to an extent, but I didn't get slapped in the face so hard. But until the other day, so when I finally decided to just breathe and tune into the peace finally, because I hadn't done it for months, I'd just wake up, go on my phone, go to work. At my fucking job, there's just absolute poison, and most of these people are synthetic beings. But yeah, I'm going off a little bit, but hey, you know, there seems to be something fundamental within your body in terms of, like, energy. It's very hard to put into words. There are many different ways to derive energy, and it goes into deep metaphysical things that you have to basically question what you deem as real at all. Because you got to understand, like, when people ask, for example, right, and I'm not going to go into this super deeply because I understand it's a touchy topic. Let's take the chakras, for example. Are the chakras real? You might research on the internet. I don't think that's the right way to approach that question anymore. A lot of this comes with deconstructing your assumptions, right? We have a lot of assumptions, and you realise, yeah, through the social matrix or society, that a lot of the stuff is just passed down, and it's basically just a web of bullshit that only exist intellectually. Who taught the teachers what they know? What wage are the teachers on? Who employed the teachers? Who tells the teachers what they're allowed to teach? The parents? Well, what do the parents want? You know, what food are they eating? The food. What water do they use? The cheapest water? Because when you industrialize everything, it goes south a bit. Look, I'm going off now. I said enough. I don't want to go super deep right now, because towards the end I started chatting some madness, but look. What was I going to say? Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't just that one guy who said that, but there's many people who understand that I believe I do talk facts in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of that is simply because I think. Most people don't want to think. It's quite scary to think. It's a cold, breezy world. And reality is honestly terrifying. And that's why people don't want this. But yeah, I mean, the last part of this video, I think, went off a bit. But hey, I've said what I need to say. I'll leave you with this video now. Thank you very much. I'll see you all very soon.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!